So welcome back, my little poxies. Today we're playing Date Night with Eyeless Jack, created by Akemi and the Snowy Ones. This game is free, and we're gonna read about. So it's a full source code or whatever. Never mind. But let's start. What is your name? We're gonna go by Deadly. The sound of people chattering and wine glass clinking fills your ears. Watching everyone else spending time together makes you feel a bit awkward about sitting alone. However, you comfort yourself with the thought that soon enough your date would arrive. The people around you seem to think that your date won't be good company. The nearby area is completely void of any other customers except you, of course. Does your own opinion match the customers, or perhaps you're more open about it? Surely it's not that bad. It's actually a bit nervous. It's my hair. Well, there isn't anything wet on my face, right? I'll just stick around for the food. I don't actually want to date this creep. Alright, just chill. Nothing to worry about. You better be grateful that I showed up. What? Wait, he's late? I don't know. I usually worry, so I'm actually a bit nervous. Isn't my hair well? This isn't anything wet on my face, right? Hey, Deadly, right? Sorry for being late. I had some things to do. Oh my god. You wake up from your thoughts to find a familiar face at the end of the table. He's already sat down and everything. A somewhat nervous smile tugged his lips. Where's your mask? Oh, hi. Mind if I ask what's keeping you busy? And what exactly did you have to do? Murder people again? Huh, finally. I don't know. A guy I know was being a prick and wouldn't let me go, so I had to deal with him first. But since his stubborn one, words didn't quite cut it. Well, that explains it. Great, but I'm curious, why'd you come to this date? Oh, so many choices. Why not? There hasn't been anything interesting happening lately, so this could be fun. Are you kidding? I had to come here. I've heard so many things about you. I couldn't just pass up the opportunity to meet you, especially if I'm not gonna be, well, murdered in the process. All you need to know is that I didn't come here voluntarily. Yeah, someone dragged me here. Don't get the wrong idea, I just didn't have anything else to do. What a tsundere. Let's just say, oh, kidding, I had to come here, I've had so many things. Right, I think you should order your food. We didn't come here just to chat, right? They give Jack a puzzled look. Aren't you going to eat anything? I was about to ask you, actually. I took something to eat with me, since I don't really like the normal food they serve here. I eat kidneys. But since I know most people wouldn't like to watch me eat, I'm going to ask if that's alright with you. Oh, and I do have permission to eat here. Sure, go ahead, I don't mind. It's not that I don't want to eat, but I kind of get sick when it comes to blood and all that, so if it's not too much of a could do not eat right now, that's disgusting, no. Sure, go ahead, I don't mind. So it doesn't bother you? Great. Jack reaches into the pocket of his hoodie and pulls out a red bleeding organ. He takes a bite out of it and then puts it into a plate. Ah! The smell is rather strong, and you try not to stare too much at the organ in front of you while you eat your own food. Ah. How did you get permission to eat that here? I want to know! It's actually a pretty funny story. So I know this one guy that gets into trouble a lot, likes to mess with his boss, which isn't too good for him since he's a proxy and all that. Anyway, he had pretty much jumped into this place through the window at night. I don't know what the hell he thought he was doing, but he was getting into some serious trouble. The owner was here and he had a gun, and a hatchet isn't going to bring down a shotgun, so I stepped in and bit the owner's shoulder. Then, while I started having too much fun, and that guy with the axe had to step in. The owner hat was almost dead, stunned, mumbling the usual, "Please don't kill me, I'll do anything." And you know what? Me and the axe guy decided that we'd let him live if we could come and eat here. At that moment, it seemed like a stupid idea. I mean, when the hell will I want to go to eat in a restaurant? but seems like it came in handy after all. Oh, I know might have some parties here, murder parties, of course. That's quite a story. You were speechless, barely able to continue eating since your mouth hung open due to your awe. You and Jack finished your meals, however, it seemed that the most disastrous thing that could ever happen during a date is happening right now. An awkward silence. Jack seemed to be looking somewhere else, keeping himself busy, but you are fairly certain that he was aware of this situation. And that means it's up to you to fix it. After some thinking, you come up with a genius conversation starter, which is a pickup line. Oh no, a funny joke. I think I should tell him a joke. You have to go in mind to find the best pun you have ever heard and say, "Did you hear about that man that sued an airline company after it lost its luggage? Sadly, he lost his case." Jack was silent for a while, processing what you said. However, he then burst out laughing. Saying how funny he thought your joke was, you come up with another one. "Also, you really shouldn't trust atoms. They make up everything." "Stop, my stomach hurts." Jack is literally almost falling off his seat from how hard he's laughing. Seeing this makes you laugh. Slowly but surely, he's able to calm down. You swear he even wiped a tear off his face, which you don't know how it got there in the first place, seeing as he has no eyes. You like puns? That's strangely cute. Are you saying there's people that don't like them, but they're hilarious? Things are going pretty smooth so far. If you want this date to be considered a smooth experience, you have to keep this up. What should the two of you talk about? Maybe genocide, murder, and everything similar. Jackson is on the topic. I'm sure it'll be very interesting. You and Jack have a wonderfully normal conversation about murdering innocent people. He describes the most gruesome death he has ever seen. You feel a bit sick but pull through. Although he did notice your face turning a bit pale. You share the most gory things you have ever seen or heard of as well in order to impress him, although you faced problems when he wanted to hear more details. Mostly because you didn't want to go into the details. Of course, if you actually enjoy murder, blood, and everything similar, I'm sure you had quite an interesting conversation about the many ways of killing someone. Yeah. I'm not bad with bloody stories, but I admit that the amount of detail provided did make me feel a bit sick. You asked him to turn down a bit, which he did. Jack glances at a nearby clock on the wall. A look of realization takes over his face and he turns to you. I think you should pay for your food. We don't have much time left. Why? I pretty much begged Jack to pay for me, which he eventually does due to finding me extremely annoying, but well. Let's split the bill. At least now the price is much cheaper, but Jack didn't actually give any money. Whatever, I'm sure it's fine. Now when the payment is out of the way, the two of you prepare to leave. This is when people start saying goodbye, but the question is, how will you say goodbye? It seems Jack's busy thinking about something, offering you the chance to plan your amazing departure. Just kiss him. I spread my arms and give him a hug. Once Jack realizes what you're trying to hug him, he lightly places his arms around you. Aww. It felt like he was barely touching you, but that didn't matter. At least he hugged you. It's been pretty fun, Dudley. I hope you have a good time too. I did. We should do this again sometime. We'll see. We'll see. Goodbye, Dudley. You stand up and walk to the door. Before you leave, you turn to look back. Jack's still sitting at his table, slowly sinking back into his thoughts. Aww. Don't forget about me, Jack. Adios, amigos. Mi amigo. I think you have a nice face. Wait, no, that's weird. I mean, I like your shirt. Well, lastly, Jack, you're strangely adorable. When you left, Jack found himself hoping that there would have been more time. It was strangely troubling to sit alone once more. He craved company. Your company. The strange feeling made him smile, yet also made him feel lonely. And even if he lacked the word to describe his feelings, he knew how to fix it. By being around you. Now he'll just have to figure out how to get in contact with you. Once he does, what will you say? Even to him, a merciless killer, that question evoked feelings of nervousness. Jack felt appreciated and understood in your company. The things you said to him absolutely fascinated, and he couldn't help but stare at you. Luckily, you didn't notice. Or maybe it didn't bother you. Something that's rather new to him is also the strange feeling of trust, like he could talk about anything to you. Of course, he's not exactly used to getting butterflies in his stomach and giggling whenever he thinks of a specific person either. But one thing's for sure, his friends and acquaintances thought he was strangely chipper when he returned. In fact, here's a few things they thought of you. Jeff, he's been smiling like an idiot all day. It's like he thinks he can do anything, and even if I threatened to ruin all of his research, he couldn't care less. That's when you know something's up. Helen, aka Bloody Painter. He was talking about someone named Deadly. Honestly, it's a little annoying, but I'm not gonna say anything. I never thought I'd see him like that. Seriously, the way he's acting makes me feel like tomorrow he might be picking flowers and braiding this person's hair who's apparently so in love with. It does make me interested in meeting this Deadly, since what kind of person gets an eyeless man-eating monster to jump around on his tippy toes? A romantic yearning for romantic feelings. Aww. So I guess, we got to date him. Now, that's a good end. I want to see the bad end. So we're gonna still name ourselves Deadly. We're gonna skip. Let's just be, finally, you're here. Finally, did me not being here bother you that much? A sly smirk cracked onto Jack's lips. No, I just want this done and over with. Really now, then why did you even come to the state? I didn't want to come here. Lucky for you, I brought something to eat with me. I think you should order your own food too. I don't want to watch you eat. Jack glared at you. Well, too bad. Jack placed a fresh organ. The smell is a strong one, yet he wouldn't laugh unless he takes a bite out of it. He does it all while glaring daggers at you. Then he drops his food onto a plate, allowing it to make a moist sound. Ugh. I accidentally throw my drink at him. What the hell was wrong with you? Jack picks up a cloth to wipe his face. That's now soaking wet thanks to you. Once he's done with that, he throws the cloth onto you. You feel like he would prefer to strangle you with it for some reason. That was hilarious. You laugh loudly. That was hilarious. You and Jack finish your meals. An awkward silence. Which is... Okay. Just so other guys you know. Somehow for some strange reason you cringe when he asks this question. Almost as if it's strange to ask such a thing during a date. And why do you want to know? Shoot, he wants to know why. Well, better give an explanation you thought of earlier. I just want to find out more about what kind of friends you have, that's all. Sure. It seemed to work, however, there's still a look of suspicion on his face. I would only call one of the people I know friend, and that's Bloody Painter or Helen. He's not the sort to make unnecessary havoc, and is pretty down-to-earth quiet too. Though I think he spends too much time fussing over art. He often deals with the bodies I've left behind, so that leaves less cleaning for me too. What about the proxies? Jack rolls his non-existent eyes and also lets out a sigh. Of course, everyone always wants to know about the proxies. Well, there's Toby. He's okay, real troublemaker though, so I don't really like to spend too much time around him. The mood swings are pretty bad too, you see. I don't really like people that overreact, and Toby's the definition of overreacting. He's pretty confident most of the time and manages to stay positive, at least when someone doesn't make him upset, and I can respect that. Being a proxy isn't easy, and his life sure hasn't been pretty. It's probably good that he doesn't remember half of it, even if he wants to. And let me guess, you want to know more about Masky? He isn't really a proxy, but he still gets dragged into that stuff, so I really don't want to start poking that problem. Anyway, he's probably the most normal person around, makes him popular with the ladies. If you're gonna keep doing dates like this, I'm sure you'll meet him face to face at some point. He's not just a handsome guy, although he had it pretty rough and it looks like he's about to die at any second. Reeks of smoke too. So I really don't know why people think he's charming. In my opinion, he's kind of a jerk, selfish and manipulative. He tries to be organized, but it's the exact opposite. Clearly, he has no idea what he's doing with his life. Very optimistic. I'm around killers and cultists. Do you expect me to describe them as amazing and wonderful people? No, and I don't expect him to do that either. Well, this hasn't been too good so far, but there's still hope for turning things around and making the state a success. To fix this situation, users should talk about our shared hatred for each other because of smooth dates. You start arguing with Jack. Eventually, it turns into a competition to show who hates the other more. Jack even shatters a plate to provide his hatred. Death glares are given and rude remarks shared. Clearly, you have no intentions of a nice date unless your definition of a good date is getting the person you're trying to woo to hate every single thing about you. Yes, actually, I'm having a great time. Look at how angry he is. It's hilarious. Jack glances at a nearby clock on the wall. Oh no. How he's able to see the clock and everything else in the first place is a mystery, but you'll have to solve some other time. Okay. I force him to pay for me, which he does by murdering a waitress, pulling out a few of her organs and proceeding to eat it in front of a horrified audience. I guess that works. Now when the payment is out of the way, the two of you prepare to leave. How do I say goodbye? I don't do anything, I just stay silent. Goodbye, Diddley. You stand up, really turn your back. Okay, bye, sucker! You almost caused the murder of every individual inside the restaurant. Congratulations. Luckily, Jack decided he'd rather store his hatred to use it later once he's allowed to murder you again, which is good for all these innocent civilians, but not for you. Every bone in his body was screaming to tear you into pieces, which he didn't do due to certain restrictions. You're welcome. You are on the top of the people I hate the most, listed alongside LJ for stealing his name and Small Dog for eating his food. Clearly you're not afraid of Jack, but you also seem to despise him quite strongly. Of course it makes sense since Jack really isn't that nice of a person, and he certainly wouldn't be going on any dates if it wasn't for Ryder's magic powers. But still, maybe it'd be for the best to hide your hatred even for just a little bit, just to avoid being murdered in your sleep. Jack's friends and acquaintances took notice of him once he returned. It was pretty difficult not to, since he was shouting curses and giving death stares to anyone and everything. Here's their thoughts. Jeff, I'm all about pissing off people on purpose, and it was pretty funny to see EJ that mad. But I think I'm gonna stick to my deadly free life. Unless Jack pays me to kill them, but I'm pretty sure he wants to do that himself. Brian Hoodie, no thanks. Helen, I'd say that this is good news since I can't get new paint, but seeing how angry Jack is, I'd be surprised if there's anything left once he's dealt with Deadly. Bold yes, single yes. Oh no! Well, there's the bad and good end. I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much. Remember to hit the notification bell and comment what you think of this game. I'll see you later. Bye! Love you, and remember, stay creepy.